Alright, so here we go. Is it going to be knife again? That's what I'm curious about. Because we don't typically have knives in the regular ESL Pro League season. So we are going to have knives here for sides. Similar to maps like Cash, I feel as if the knife here isn't necessarily the most important. Like, if you lose the knife, it's not the end of the world. Like, on Nuke, obviously, that determined quite a lot with Dig winning the knife, electing to go CT, getting a massive first half performance. Don't think it's as important on Cobblestone. Like, VP are a team that can do just as much work on the T side as they can the CT side, and so are Dignitas. Like, watch out for Rubino, especially on the T side. B-plat player, for some reason, that's really hard for me to say. Am I silver? No. Sometimes I play like I'm a silver, but I'm global. So, Dignitas will be coming through without any upgraded pistols. We saw on train, Taz went for a CZ on the side of VP, but Dignitas running with USPs and the P2000s on config. Go for a boost. Rubino's up on drop. But VP have the bulk of their aggression set over towards the A side of the map. They've got 2 smokes and a whole bunch of flashbangs and a HE to boot as well. So, let's see how this one plays out. Magic, who started 8-0 on Nuke, is the first player to land a frag. Let me just fix that HUD for you guys. Apologies for that. Great GoTV bugs. But Magic is going to get the second frag. Rubino from behind onto the stacks. Magic will fall down, but VP still have themselves a player. Make that 2-player disadvantage. Neo's the last player trying to get himself a bomb plant, but MSL cheekily on the back of the site puts him to rest. Dignitas again with another pistol. Virtus Pro without the bomb plant will have a force buy. So it's going to be Tech 9s with a Deagle. Pasha with a Deagle. Landed some crazy Deagle work earlier today on train against G2. Got a pretty crazy double one-tap. Magic in the meanwhile is going to be watching along. The Soul Smoke is going to be thrown over on the doors, but this spray down is going to be so deadly. Magic and MSL both just holding down on the M4. Neo's the next player to come up, but he's the next player to fall. And VP will concede the second round in very quick fashion. They'll have no buy coming through into this one. Dignitas looking to start from where they left off on Nuke. Only 2 kills in the first 2 rounds as well for VP. Getting nothing out of that last one. Just Pasha and Neo. So if that continues to be the case here, their first buy is going to be fairly lackluster. Neo's got the flashbang. They're going to try the pop flash into a potential charge. In the meanwhile, Cajun is going to throw the smoke to cordon off that aspect of the map at least. MSL, there should be easy kills going his way with the M4, but finally does get found out on frags. So VP are making the go of this round. They've got 2 kills so far in pretty much full-on Glocks. Magic's going to come and ruin the party, though, with a triple spray down in the end. Full house of kills. VP do concede, but 2 kills isn't too bad. This affords them a few more grenades. And really, the most important nade here for the set play is going to be smokes, and they've got 5 of them in total. A couple of mollies alongside that and flashes. So they can have a molly that drops in the likes of Drop Zone itself, one on platform, if they so choose to execute on the B side of the map. And Bjarli is going to be going in first. Very aggressive play for Virtus Pro, but the smoke pretty much just stops them before they can get started. You can see what they were looking to do there, but the utility used to perfection by Dignitas, and now Taz has the task of making sure that no pesky CTs come from behind and try and rotate and get them while they're not aware. Pasha, meanwhile, watching along. Round has slowed down almost to a complete halt. Cajun's playing an aggressive angle. They will get Taz. I've got to say, like, Cbble has been playing phenomenally so far in this best of 3. Like, on Nuke, he wasn't really required in the second half, but that first half, he was unbelievably good. I think he was on, like, 14-3 at one stage. If the sound's delayed, by the way, guys, refresh the stream. You refresh your browser the stream, and that should fix it. It's a reoccurring issue here on this channel, but we'll fix your problems. Config has gone down. It's going to open up a potential B play for the terrorist. MSL, meanwhile, is going to be burning to a crisp. Pick your poison. Burning or bullets. Well, he's decided to go in for some action. And only gets 1 for his trouble, so that's going to leave Cajun in a 1-3. It's a bit rough, safe to say, but he will save the AWP. It's a smart play. VP finally get themselves on the board. Magic top fragging again. And Virtus Pro, are they going to try and filter out and pick up the AWP? Well, yes, it looks likely. Neo can see the barrel of the gun just sticking through. He's going to betray you, Cajun. Neo knows it. This is one of those frustrating moments where you know where the player is, but you just got to walk there. And Cajun's going to die. Is he going to get knifed? Get shanked, bruv. Down he goes. Neo has the option of the AWP, decides against it. I think they realise it's likely Dignitas would be onto an eco. And playing with the AWP could actually sacrifice a bit of firepower and potentially give the AWP across to Dignitas, so it makes sense. Plus VP, I mean, Snacks, Neo, Pasha could all AWP to a decent level, or a very good level, I should say, but they're not the kind of team that has to run with an AWP. They're just as good with assault rifles. Magic up on the boost of the Mag 7. This is almost tailor-made for this weapon. And Taz's face gets plastered all over the wall. Magic also has himself some Kevlar. So that's an AK-47 with Kevlar behind it. Virtus Pro consistently did this against G2, where they finally win back around, and against pistols they'd ultimately lose. But Snacks is going to try and put that to rest with his AK doing all the talking for him. Bialy comes in for the last kill. 3 kills for Snacks, 2 for Bialy. Virtus Pro with a second round. It was looking a little bit sketchy when Taz got wrecked by the Mag 7, but they held out strong in the end. Got picked up for Cajun. Rest of the team filling out with M4A4s. VP fighting from behind as a result of losing Nuke. What was the score in the end, guys? Like, what, 16-6, 16-7, I think? It was pretty one-sided in the end. And it could have been a whole lot worse if the second pistol went the way of Dignitas. That native do so much damage collectively on 3 players. Pasha, Snacks and Taz all feeling the sting. The smoke is going to stop the terrorists from charging out just yet, but Magic is going to get the first kill. Here comes the cavalry as Snacks actually nearly TKs a player ahead of him on danger. 4-on-4, but Dignitas certainly in the advantageous position. Going for the boost as well. This will allow Config to have a quick look and start to wrap himself around the back of VP, who have a lot of time to play with. So if they don't get a skate on here, then this could get into the position where if Config starts to push, he could be in the money for the kills. But he's actually playing this one very passively instead. This is information that's been gathered, though, for the rest of Dig. They know it's not a B hit. They know no one's close to B just yet. They can afford to stack the other 3 players, as we've seen now with the crossfire, on A. So as soon as VP start to aggress onto the site, they are going to get picked off one by one. And that's exactly what's happening now, as Cajun and MSL both put down the hammer. Rubino on the back side of the bomb site. And a lot of that really does just come off the back of Config getting boosted up and getting that info. Like, take nothing away from Dignitas on the site landing the frags where it counted, but Config going up there and being able to say, look boys, it's definitely not a B, play a 3-1 formation. Just a case of VP getting wrecked. And that's the reason why a lot of teams on their T side will, even if they're a player behind, even if it's a 4-on-4 and they're looking to execute, they'll still keep a player on drop side. Because it gives you that control. It forces the counter-terrorists to stack maybe 2 players on B, and then you still have a player advantage in a 4-on-4 scenario. But no such luck that round for Virtus Pro. Back to the drawing board they will go. And what they find is a whole bunch of weapons. P250 in the hands of Neo, but he is pretty damn good with that weapon. Magic this time is on a recon mission on the other side of the map this time. But very much the same premise. Now that he's gone round A, they can stack 4 players on B and be very comfortable knowing that there's no chance of an A hit taking place. Magic now is just biding his time, waiting for the right moment to strike. I think he may have got half an eye on the bomb as well. So this is so much info that's been picked up for Dignitas. Magic just has to stay alive here. It doesn't even matter if he just backs away completely. He goes down though, and now all the information that he's gathered has been somewhat put away. With 45 seconds left, VP can get onto the other side. So you can see now it's drawing out the CT players. 2 of them across to A, and 2 of them staying on B. MSL though is doing so much work with the M4, taking down 2 players and dropping the bomb. Bjarly will answer back with 30 seconds remaining on the timer. Utility being expended to grant safe passage. You can see what Bjarly was going for, trying to make a beeline rush to the site itself. And with Pasha taking down the second kill in the confrontation, he will get the bomb planted. He's got enough time. But here come the CTs. And there's not much Pasha can do from that situation. Down he will go. Being a task for the 5th round. So I thought they may have potentially derped out an opportunity when Magic died, but MSL's double frag from the door was instrumental for them keeping a hold of the round. If he dies there, then the bomb just goes straight across to the A site. They had that plant, and then the retake, somewhat of a nightmare. So, solid play, courtesy of MSL. 10-5, but with 6 assists for Magic. So he's putting in a shift right now. Pretty sure I didn't mean to bounce it off the wall there. I think it was supposed to go towards the doors, but it doesn't really matter. No one was home anyway for Virtus Pro, who find themselves on pistols with Kevlar. They've got a few smokes. It's a half buy. They're going to have AK-47s and an AWP if they so choose, with some round loss coming up into the next one. I wouldn't be surprised if we see straight up AKs though. Again, they're a team that are totally fine running with just full-on assault rifles. But this is going to be a heavy drop push. And intelligently, Rubino hears the pitter-patter of footsteps and just backs away. It's more of a passive defense this time around. They've given up drop, but the idea is now to let the M4s fly. And although VP have got through the window through connector, there should be a lockdown from MSL. He knows that Bjarly's the last player remaining. He knows where he is. And Bjarly's days are numbered. It's MSL that picks him up. Only 1 player dropped, so this economy is building steadily for Dignitas. All around the mid-5,000s. They've only got to replenish 1 weapon on top of that. So they could have afforded an AWP. It would have been glass cannon. Instead, they go for the AKs. Fair enough. So VP back to a more passive round, not looking for any fast players just yet. It's really Bjarly that's trying to poke and probe Dignitas, find some weaknesses, and, well, he's found the head of Rubino. That opens up drop nicely. Keeps 2 players for Dignitas interested over on the B side. That could force VP's hand into a more aggressive play over on A. Again, though, that smoke puts a hand in the face as MSL going to try and spray through the smoke. 1 frag comes out. He needs to be careful. He's about to get aggressive. That flash hits him just as much as it does Snacks. It does keep the terrorists away from the site, though. MSL's done a pretty solid job of stalling this as much as possible, but then goes for information on top of the site. Costs him his life. Of course, you can see down mid from that position. And with him dying, yeah, Dignitas will save. And this kind of goes back to that play that I was talking about earlier when MSL got the 2 frags from doors. This is kind of a similar situation as then. This is what would have happened if MSL fell on doors. But he just rushed through, planted the bomb, and Dignitas would have probably just pulled back and saved. So this will be VP getting a 3rd round on the T sides. It's been a pretty sketchy, rocky start, but still very much salvageable. It looks as though Dignitas will retain both weapons going through into round 10. As VP's economy is in no place to be losing any more weapons. And you can see their pashes on $0, snacks on 50. Of course, that's going to jump up a fair amount after this round's conclusion, but not enough to allow for another couple weapons to be lost on that hunt for the assault rifles. So Cajun has his AWP. The rest of the players will be coming through them force. I would also love to see Mirage between Dignitas and VP. That would probably be the map of the series for me. I think that could actually be really sick. But we'll just have to see if VP can do it. Of course, they're currently trailed by 1 map to 0. And if Dignitas win this map, they have qualified. They are going to LAN. It's pretty much that simple. Cajun once again gets the opening pick with the AWP. That has been a reoccurring theme in tonight's best of 3. And one that VP are definitely going to be feeling. Neo is also the player to fall, so that's a pretty key, integral part of the Poles' aggression. That has been silenced. Config, meanwhile, goes for the peak, looking for a second kill to Bialy, who is really hoping he can get a kill and bring some way back into this round for Virtus Pro, but it's all on Taz. And it's the same old story with Virtus Pro here. They get a round finally, they reset the round loss bonus, but they can't get consecutive rounds. We saw this on Nuke over and over again. We've seen this now on Cobblestone, and it really wrecks the economy and momentum from a terrorist viewpoint. Taz goes down. I'll show you what I'm talking about. They got 2 rounds, pardon me, they got 2 rounds here, but other than that, it's just been a case of a round here, around there, and not really getting any momentum together. Like, honestly, even 2 rounds together isn't that impressive. It's not going to do anything for your economy at all. And you can see now they've got 1800 on Neo, 3.2k on Taz. Like, they could go for a buy, maybe. Very curious to see what they come out with here. This pause makes sense. They've been really rocky on the T side. Is this budget Anders? Yes, sir. I'd quite like to see some fast B hits come up. We haven't really seen that. I mean, Dignitas have had pretty solid counter utility with smokes and mollies that land on the B platform, but by and large we haven't seen them push through that, and that's something that Dignitas will do, by the way. They won't stop when they see the smoke. I mean, the smoke isn't a wall that's just suddenly put up in front of you. They are going to go for a buy. Again, reminiscent of a few rounds prior, we'll see Neo on a P250. This time they have a UMP, but this is still workable, honestly, all things considered. It's not a bad buy. What's up, Brian? How you doing? How did you feel about people calling you budget Anders? I'm totally cool with it. I'm easygoing. It takes a lot to get to offend me, honestly. Plus, if I'm gonna get compared like to Caster, getting compared to one of the most popular, loved casters, I'll take it. I'll take it, mate. And I can see the similarities in how we look, to be honest. Anders is a cool dude, though. I've got a lot of love for Anders. Anywho, back into the action. Virtus Pro, as we mentioned prior, have gone for a full-on buy. Now let's see if they are going to mix anything up here as a result. Is it a case of trying out another momentum? Taz gets completely uppercutted in midair, and his body just flies by the wayside. Looked a bit brutal from VP's perspective, seeing them go in. And really it's more of the same. They're trying a split sort of attack with a bomb over on drop, but with the early confrontations going well and truly against them. I mean, that's pretty much the round just gone in an instant. In the blink of an eye, it just goes away. Neo and Pasha, 31 health between the two of them. They have time on their side, but that's about it. Dignitas move from strength to strength. Mortal Kombat. Now there is a sick franchise of games. Favourite Mortal Kombat character? Go chat. Which one is it? MSL will get the better of Neo. Bomb dropped. And VP's chances dropping with every round that passes. Pasha. 20 seconds left. Maybe half a mind to save, but with 10 health, that is very risky indeed. If you die after time, you're absolutely boned for economy. He's going to try and save, though. In a similar position to, I think it was Neo with the AWP earlier. And he indeed got shanked, from what I remember. Scorpion. Hanzo. You what, mate? I'm going to have to go with my favourite characters, Ermac. Just because the amount of cheese you can do with him is unreal. It's like unparalleled. Play Ermac, just spam the teleportation thing where you punch someone, pick them up, slam them on the ground. It's cheesy as hell, but I love me some Ermac. Ooh, Pasha. Eats it. And it looks like they are going to try an aggressive play, but this is with just Tech 9s and the AK. Pasha does get a pretty tasty entry frag, though, onto Cajun. Now Conflict steps up with a double spray down. Down he goes. MSL with a couple of his own. And that's all she wrote for VP. Oh, it was Cajun that got knifed by Neo. Right, pardon me. Sorry. My old brain doesn't function. Ermac is always broken, indeed. Mac and cheese. You know it. Although I've got to admit, my most hated character to play against is Sub-Zero. Just because you always get put against some spammers, like, that just constantly freeze you. I get quite butthurt playing against Sub-Zeros, I'm not gonna lie. So Boost is going to be coming up here. It's going to be Rubino who takes the charge. Let's have a look from his perspective. Well, Snacks this time that loses his head. As it explodes, courtesy of Rubino. Dignitas Pro really haven't shown a great deal on either of their T-halves in this best of three. Need the new cobblestone. Bialy in and Bialy out. 10-3. Dignitas Pro will have another bye, but it's hard to see them getting too much done. MSL, he gets a lot of crap. Obviously, the in-game leader gets a lot of crap for his fragging, but 17-5, that is solid work from MSL. So I'll give credit where it's due. He doesn't often get a lot of people throwing some love his way when it comes to his in-game play, but he's been wrecking it so far. Cajun also cannot be shadowed. Dude has been getting so many opening picks, so many impact frags. VP always seems to be starting with 3v5s. Cajun's in there for another frag, and just like that, a huge portion of the terrorist aggression has been subsided. Magic's in the perfect position to strike now with his M4, but he is going to get put down. But there's Cajun. He's actually on for the ace. No, not any longer. MSL ruins his day. Although they really aren't going to care. Taz in a 1-on-3. It's super hard to get hype in these games as well, where one team's just getting battered so badly. The same thing on Nuke. And Dignitas are playing great, but VP don't seem to have shown up a great deal, which is surprising when there's quite a lot on the line. Our first half finished 13-2. Now we're going to have a 12-3 end to this half. Pasha dead and buried. Taz very much the same. And And it's just kills by the numbers, really, for Dignitas. They are going to concede a second player in the round, which puts it at a 3-on-3. Config's pretty low. And Cajun's dead, so maybe VP can salvage a 4th round. I keep finding myself being optimistic, thinking of keys to victory. You know, ways that VP can bounce back, but I suppose that's just the nature of Virtus Pro. You can never really count them out. Config, your last remaining CT, and Neo with a drive-by mid-air P250, 11-4, sees Virtus Pro desperately requiring this pistol and a whole bunch of rounds behind it. Be free, my plebs. Nah, Fluky Kira, don't do this. I don't. That face, man. It wrecks me. It's so disturbing. What is that? Whose sub emote is that? I need to know. Nuke score was 16-5, I think, to Dignitas. It was a stomp. That's really all you need to know. I'm asking what Kappa is. No. It's like a face where I'm pretty sure it's like a distorted image. And I can't stop looking at it, but I swear it freaks me out. Oh, is it Forsen? Okay. Ming Lee. Second half. Well, it could be the last half of tonight's proceedings. Virtus Pro have their work cut out for them. They are going to go for a fair bit of utility on Snack. So HE, Flash, and Smoke. A couple smokes for Dignitas. Let's see what kind of a strat they're going to be running. Now, remember, VP did go for an A hit on their pistol. It would appear that Dignitas have other thoughts in mind, as they're going to be coming up through long. Down goes Pasha. Key frag. Opens up Plat nicely, but keep in mind that Snacks has made his way very quickly round the back of Dignitas. I'm going to switch to him soon if Dignitas don't get a move on, but they are finally executing out onto the site where Neo's waiting for them. Neo with 3 one-taps. The one-tap king in the pistol here. And it's looking pretty good for VP. MSL's been playing very well thus far, but this is maybe a bridge too far for him. A lot of time, though. He's in no rush to try and peek these two players. Maybe looking for a mistake more than anything else. He's ate a lot of damage there. He should be finished off, and indeed he will be. VP with an essential second pistol going their way now have a lifeline. $145. Do you need a hug, bro? You keep repeating the same thing. I feel like you need a hug. I swear I've seen you say it like 20 times. Come here, bro. I'll give you a hug. We're gonna be okay. Ooh, nice smoke. Allows Snacks to use the Mag 7. He's just going... Play pigeon shooting. Cajun and MSL destroyed in a matter of seconds, and Snacks maybe not done just yet. It's going back in again. Config is going around the side. Lands the one tap and a second one as well, but VP still have 3 players intact, including 2 MP9s and an M4. It's hard to see how Dignitas get this round going their way, especially as Pasha around the back. I'm just going to get the double spray down. Oh, to be fair, you probably don't want to hug me right now because I'm pretty sick. So I don't want to give you my my man flu. Feels bad, man. So, P have managed to navigate their way through the force up, which they've been unable to do really a single time, I believe, in tonight, against G2 or against Dignitas. Gox with a deagle, Config with the D. You got 2 frags in the last round with the deagle. Let's see if he can add any more to that tally. This grenade is going to do so much damage, though. Pasha, it's raining kills for him. Gets an assist to the remaining player, and so much money goes into his back pocket with the MP9. 8.7k he finds himself at after buying nades still well over $8,000. Snacks has got himself the farmer gun. Snacks, please. Are you really going to keep it in this round? Alright then, dude. Where are you going with it? The Nova. So he's going to be using it in the same place as he had the Mag 7 a few rounds prior. But in terms of weaponry, Dignitas are way ahead. I mean, there's 2 MP9s and there's a Nova in play. He's called it the Sheriff. Laying down the law onto Magic at least. Dignitas now retain the player advantage, make it 2 players, Neo and Bialy. And therein lays the issue with not upgrading some of the weapons. Like, it's all well and good having an MP9, maybe 2 at most, but having 3 pull weapons against Kevlar and AKs, it's going to be hard to make that work for your team. And with the bomb planted, VP probably just back away and save again. So MP9 and M4. I think Bialy desperately wanted to upgrade that MP9, but it's not going to happen. Bit of a head scratcher, honestly. They had the funds. They had Pasha, who is over 8,000. I mean, you can see now their money is in a pretty solid position. Again, I could understand why you may keep sort of 1 or 2 SMGs, but 2 SMGs and a Nova, I don't know, like maybe the confidence is still high. It just feels like a very risky endeavor, because they must know that Dignitas will be coming into that round with full AK-47s. They are going to have EM4s and the AWP into this round, though. Trailing by 5. That could quickly be cut short. Shaq. I nearly said it again, and Lee said Shaq again. It's Snacks. I don't know why I have Shaq on my brain. I think it's because I was casting Shocks earlier, and I kind of merged the 2 names together. But Snacks is down at 22. A stray bullet will end his life. Ooh, Config eating a random grenade out of nowhere. Just out of the doors. Puts him down to 59 himself. So both teams have had their fair share of wounds. Magic in the meanwhile is going to see what he can get done on drop, but that flashbang keeps him here for now. He's going to be flashing outside. That's actually just going to absolutely destroy Cajun, and indeed Magic afterwards. I'm not sure if he derped his flash or maybe the call came in too soon, a lack of communication, but that being said, it's back to a 2-on-2. 45 seconds left. Bialy has the bomb at his feet and Pasha's just behind him. It's up to Config now to try and make some plays. If he peeks out, there's a player down to his right-hand side. It's going to be Pasha. He's heard the footsteps and lands the headshot, leaving Bialy on his 30 health with it all to do. And he can't get it done. Dignitas take a 13th round. It was looking pretty bad for them when that flash went off. And Magic wrecked himself, and I think it was Cajun who pushed him first. I'm not entirely sure on that. Memory eludes me, but I thought that was maybe the moment where VP would just take a stranglehold over the round. Not the case. Now VP into a force, including a CZ. If Dignitas win this round, it's pretty much their gateway to a victory and the LAN. A lot of pressure on the shoulders of the Poles now. They've got to get something done in this CT round. 2 players over on the plat side. Going to see Taz playing aggressive with a CZ. Up on long and Snacks in mid. Neo's been spotted. Neo's been fragged. That could open up B. Pasha in the meanwhile is going to be throwing in that nade to try and stop this push before it gets started. But the flashbang in his face, he can end up burning to a crisp when he throws out the smoke. He realizes that's going to be coming at him. And now with the flashes landing, he will end up getting picked off. MSL in midair will be plucked out as the kills are just coming back and forth. And it may not be too terrible for Virtus Pro, all things considered, because Taz now has an M4 at his disposal. Of course, coming into this round with the CZ. Cajun B behind the box. With 52 seconds left, the bomb not under control for the terrorists. He still has plenty of nades, but Taz now guaranteed knows where he is. Still has his sights on Config, goes for the spray, not quite connecting it, but now Snacks could finish off both Cajun and Config, who are relatively low. It's Config to his left-hand side as he gets flashbang, beautiful flash, and Cajun will execute onto him. So, Dignitas, 14-7 in the lead, VP. Do they just go for the force here and play it out, or do they play for the overtime? It seems for the P250 buys, they're playing for the overtime. There's a scoreboard for you. MSL still top fragging by quite a distance. 6 kills in total. Snacks goes peekaboo in mid and, well, loses 70% of his health in the process. Pasha playing possum, but Magic, they exterminate that. Snacks still alive, and did he manage to get past Config through the smoke? Config is going to be... You can see Config spinning around. He's like, what the... How did he get there? I mean, all things considered, yeah, you got a pretty tasty play onto Config, mate, but your team's still going to be losing 15-7. So 8 rounds required in a row for this pro. Saving the AK and the UMP, though, is a nice bolster to their buy in this round. That does afford them a pretty decent buy overall, actually, whereas Dignitas will, of course, have their solid buy as they've won now 4 rounds in a row after VP's opening 3. Now, we know the VP have the tenacity to come back from this kind of a deficit, but the way they've been playing tonight, I mean, they just haven't got out of first gear. And Dignitas has been on point. So, gotta be honest, this feels like it's a bridge too far for Virtus Pro. I'd love to be proven wrong. I really wanted to watch these two teams play on Mirage. I think that would have been a sick map, but it doesn't look like we're going to get there. VP, though, you know they're going to fight to the bitter end. Taz and Snacks, similar positions we've seen throughout. This time switching it up with Taz watching in mid. The timing completely wrecking Config. Probably not expecting a peek there. Pasha gets a flash to the face, but it's not going to be capitalized on from the terrorists just yet as Bjarli goes out looking. 26 health on Magic, but he gets the kill. With both him and Cajun tagged up, VP have the HP advantage. Now they have the player advantage. It's all down to Cajun and Rubino. And Rubino nearly gets found out and fragged. Does finally get taken out. And Cajun comes in. That's looked like a pretty tasty shot onto Neo. But he's got 3 more players to find with 40 seconds to spare. What's his economy looking like? He's got 7.9k. You could definitely go for this. It seems like he's going to be playing this one fairly safe. And I can respect that. You know, you've got a massive buffer of rounds. There's no rush towards getting that 16th round. You don't want to throw this away. So why not? Save onto his AWP. Keep it alive. VP unlikely to go looking too much as their economy is in tatters as well. And VP will take an 8th round. Hold on a second. Cajun's going to get taken down after time. That's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting. But because he's got 7.9k, he's alright anyway. No big deal. He can get himself another weapon. Interesting enough, he actually goes for the AK as opposed to the AWP. Does that suggest maybe a fast play is on the horizon? I know that Dignitas like to go for hyper-aggressive plays up on B side. Don't lose count this time. Well, fortunately for me, we're not in like a 4th or 5th overtime, so I can do this part alright most of the time. So it's not the fast execute that I was expecting, but it is Rubino on B plat, and he's such a powerhouse on this position. The problem is, though, he actually just got burnt down a lot. He's on 26 and the grenade landed by his face. He's on 1. It is going to be a delayed execute, which will allow Neo to fire off onto the AWP. He's not been found out on frag just yet, but he is down to 12. Pasha going to be trying to spam his way through the smoke. Decent positions have been taken, but Pasha's going to go for this. Surely not. The cheek on this guy to go for that defuse in the smoke is real. And he will get buried. Now, Magic up on the boost. He's going to get found out and fragged. Rubino 1. MSL 42. Cajun is still healthy. There's a decent crossfire being picked up, but VP have got the spray on point. And we'll get the 9th round. Dignitas, they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. That bomb plant, I feel like the way they've been playing, they probably won't go for a buy here. I think they're going to be more like slow and steady wins the race mentality. It's going to be more of a half buy. For me, across the board, this is the wiser play. It affords them a decent buy in the next round. And they still have a bit of potency in this one, honestly. So, is it a case of delaying the inevitable for Virtus Pro? Or are they going to make a real go at this? Long aggression by the Danes. As Taz comes in with the double spray. Probably good enough to outright win this round. The Snacks is there too. If Taz was by himself, then sure the bomb gets planted, things get interesting. But he wasn't. So, now Config, who is looking for the flank. He's going to find Neo shortly. Ooh, that flick to the headshot is pretty nice. But Yarley is up to the task. Dignitas will have a buy now. And is this round where Cajun goes for the AWP? I'm curious. Yes, it is. So they went for the delayed execute last time. This time it is going to be the AWP in play. Let's have a look at his spawn. Nothing too spectacular. What's Neo's spawn like? Likewise. They got a double stack. We haven't seen this yet in Virtus Pro. We've seen Snacks go aggressive with shotguns. Oh, Snacks just gets 2 kills outright by himself. That's something that you just can't really prepare for if you're Dignitas. Like, out of nowhere, Snacks just picks up 2 frags. Surely they should have got Avenging kill on him. They finally get it with a Molotov of all things. He was so low that I think 1 tick of the molly killed him. But it seems like Dignitas are having that age-old issue that the Danes seem to have, which is choking at the finish line. BP is certainly starting to step things up a little bit here, but Dignitas have been struggling these last few rounds. Cajun on the AWP. He's going to get picked off by Neo. I thought he had that frag, and meanwhile Magic comes in, but it's not a clean kill. Down to 11, he will fall. 35 seconds left. The bomb's on B alongside. Just wants to save. VP will clutch back 1 more round. 4 more required. Dignitas, who were looking so powerful at a 12-3 half, have only picked up 3 rounds on their terrorist side, which for me is very surprising, because typically their T half is really strong.
Counter-terrorists win.
Half bite in again. Magic does go for the AK-47s. They're looking for some prowess with him. It's going to be the fast play. This is what I was looking for. This could prove to be a bit of an issue for Virtus Pro as well, because Magic's already out. He's got picked off, but here comes the rest of the terrorists. But they're getting sprayed down. Bialy with 2. Could very well pick up a third, and VP, credit to them, after Magic gets the first kill. That was looking like it could be a complete disaster. But they hold on Bjarly from drop with the M4 spray. Keeps the dream alive with this comeback. It seems like Virtus Pro never do it easily. They always have to take it down to the wire. OTB, please. Normally, you guys know what that means. I wish that would get fixed. I hope that I haven't just been spoiled. That is a Bob Ross fail. VP need to save it. They have a player on tree. I mean, that would have been the perfect segue if they had a player on tree, like paint some pretty trees. Not going to happen though. Magic in the meanwhile, be looking to push his way up through drop. That grenade could very well do a lot of damage onto Bjarly, who's being forced out of position. He's got Molotovs, he's got flashes, he's got HEs, he's got the kitchen sink being thrown in his face. MSL goes down by his lonesome as a result of the carpet of fire just below the window. And Bjarly's low. So you're expecting to see Neo have to tee off here, but I feel like I've already been spoiled, so rip pepperonis Virtus Pro. It appears that Dignitas will be moving across to the LAN finals. Barring a Taz 1-on-4 clutch. Bomb's about to get planted too. I don't think he knows what's about to hit him in the face. It's Cajun B. And Dignitas have done it, ladies and gents. They take down Virtus Pro 2-0 in convincing fashion. Cobblestone went a little bit awry on their T side, but Nuke was a bloodbath.